Hello again, Lamborghini fans. I thought I had every Miura put out by Kyosho. Not the case. I don't have the P400S. Alright, this is a particular one from some sort of Japanese cartoon called Circuit Racer? The Circuit Wolf. Alright, yeah, so they have a bunch of random Japanese liveried supercars, and it was like a manga, you can see. That's what they mean by cartoon books, comic books, Japanese comic books. It's actually got a hologram here from Lambo. Okay, interesting. Came in this blister pack, no box, bought it, it's all used. So I don't know how old this is, but I have to guess it's probably from the early 2000s. Sorry, I'm just looking for that screwdriver. So this is the second Miura to come out by Lambo. The first one was just called a P400, but the P400S, according to Wikipedia, came out in 1968 and ended in 1971 after making 338 of them, or in that ballpark. And it added a lot of creature comforts like power windows and some interior details, rocker switches. It made 20 more horsepower than the previous one, so it was somewhere around 370 horsepower now. And then interesting that beyond the fact that Frank Sinatra and Miles Davis owned them, Eddie Van Halen from the music group Van Halen had one of these, and you can hear it being revved in this song, Panama. So, if you know that song from Van Halen, that's the Miura engine revving up, I guess, in that song. Alright, that's enough with the info there. We just have a non-metallic orangish color. I would call that a light orange, not really yellow. And then it's got the racing number 1 from that cartoon, Circuit Wolf. And then this, although it looks weird, it is a 1, it's just that it's at a weird angle. And then they have the Lambo badge on it, but it's just an outline of like a bull, kind of, sort of. You can see the paint bubbling going on here. It's just problematic of all diecasts, I think. These things release gas or something. It's got the little ridges in these pop-up headlight areas, but the actual pop-up headlight seems to have some ridging casted into the clear plastic, so I think that's cool. There's also ridging here, so that's nice. Windshield wiper blades are raised, painted black. Same with the molding there. You can see some basic interior details. The wheels, they're not passing air, which would have been great if there's air passing right there, but they do look like the photographs, minus the fact that they're blanked off. And the center knockoff is nicely done. The tires are nicely done, nice and rounded from like the 1960s, and then an old school tread. And then it's got a plastic base press fit together, and silver paint on the exhaust there. Alright, there's a little bit of a, maybe that's like Pininfarina. I don't know who designed this. Was it Giugiaro? I forget, sorry. But there's some sort of printing there. I don't know if that's specific to Lambo or the cartoon, the Circuit Wolf. There seems to be black paint kind of sloppily added to this vent here in the sill. The sill is painted silver, and that is part of the plastic base, it seems. Orange, having a hard time covering up the casting. As you can see, the darkness here is the casting, so it has to fill in the panel gaps quite a bit. There's a little black going around the window molding here on the side, and then we have louvers in the back, just all opaque plastic. Some venting on the top of the roof. Yeah, some more, I don't know, scratches or whatnot. The venting here, I guess it could have been black. It's kind of like black for the veins, but then body colored, so maybe it's okay they left it alone. Alright, going to the back, we have clear taillights there. And then we have the Miura S looking good. Lamborghini looks legible. Little bumperette just sticking up, painted black, just a plain license plate. We have a squished hexagon grille here. And what else? The front end, we have some fog lights or turn signals, maybe. They're both silver. I'm just looking at the photographs. Yeah, that yellow photograph, it looks like they're just white lights here. There's a very faint texture here in the grill, some dots it looks like, and then there's also black paint for these intakes here. So that's nicely done. And then actually through the windshield you can actually see the interior. There's some horizontal ribbing on the seats. Gauges, stick shift there. Seems good enough. I mean, for a blister pack Kyosho, I have no complaints. Being press fit though is hard to modify or fix any problems, or for some reason you want to repaint that interior. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one without drilling it. Alright, let's see the evolution of the Miura by Kyosho. So here we have just a plain old P400, the very first one. I guess I'm going to have to move these over. This one must come somewhere in between the two. Or maybe after, because this came out in what, 68 did it say? So my notes are saying the Hota came out in 1970. You know, that's a staggering of the tires there. Then the next one is also a 70. It's a different type of Hota with a really big chin spoiler and like bullet mirrors. I forget what the story was on that. You'll have to look up. I reviewed all these models, by the way. Just look up Miura. So in 71 we came out with the SV, apparently, from Lambo. And there we go. Ooh, boy, look at that paint rash. That's not cool at all. And then we have the Hota again, but this is a later one from 75. I think this is a crazy like one-off where the guy literally went to Lambo and said, make me one. But look at the paint rash. Yeesh. And the very last one is like a modern retro designed redo concept from 2006. It's quite interesting that Lamborghini hasn't made this reality because people would buy it. It's a nice looking car, but I have to imagine real Miuras are really hard to come by. Alright, so yeah, you got a whole bunch of different headlights. Some are, you know, plasticed over like racing cars. Some still have the pop-ups. Tail light wise, yeah, this one's got like three bars, 1, 3. There's a lot of variations there. So those are the low views. Let's give you the top view here. Alright. Let's get that racing around the circuit. So, maybe I have all the Miuras from Kyosho? I don't know. Maybe there's another one out there I don't know about. I know like TLV makes Miuras. It's just that they're just overpriced. If I'm gonna have blanked off wheels, I'd rather have the model be, you know, cheaper. So I'm perfectly happy with my Kyoshos. I'll probably never get a TLV one. I also don't like opening panels, so that's why I prefer Kyosho. Alright, all Kyoshos roll from my experience, so you really don't need to ask. It's quite interesting no one's made a resin version of this car, or one of these Miuras in like resin. Like, so if YM model, Era 404 were to do that, that is something I would perhaps be interested in getting, possibly. Alright, well thank you guys, I'll see you in the next Lamborghini video. Ciao.